What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nunzi, back with another Nunzi coaching lesson. Today we got a good one, team. Today we got a good one. Why all misfortune is really good fortune. And I want you to reflect today on your own life right now. Just do me a favor and think about your life, think about your past, and think about some of the moments in your life that were really difficult. Maybe you encountered or you had situations in that time where you're like, why is this happening to me? And it was almost unbearable. Maybe it was so unbearable that it led you to a state of depression, addiction, whatever. The craziest thing about it, though, is that when you start to look at this from this point of view, from this mindset, that all the misfortune in your life really is actually there to help you, is actually there to guide you. So let's dive into what I'm talking about. I want to use a personal example to give you guys an idea. So when I was in high school, football was my love. It was my everything. I had dreams about playing in the NFL. Football was my life. And in my senior year of football, the worst thing happened to me at that time. And I tore my ACL. I had a huge knee injury in my first practice of the very first year, my senior year. And that was my year. This was my year to shine. And in the very first practice, I blew out my leg. And oh man, was it ever devastating for me at that time. And I remember I went into a really dark place. I ended up stopped playing football. Actually, that's when I gained all my weight. I gained all of this weight and I really let myself go. And I look back at that time because when in the moment of that injury, it was very hard to deal with. But it's crazy to think about that injury was so significant in the role it played in my life and the trajectory that I went. Because what ended up happening was after my football career was over, I got into my second love, and that was acting and creating. And I decided I was gonna go to acting school, and I moved down to LA to pursue becoming an actor. And then I moved to Vancouver to pursue my acting career. Little did I know, all the acting that I did would transition over into content creation. Here we are now, 10, 11 years later, and I'm a full-time content creator. None of this would have even happened if the fact is I didn't suffer that injury. This is just one of the many examples of your own life that you can reflect back on. And even though the situation at the time was really hard to deal with, and the problem is most people, when really horrible things happen to them, they don't see it as a good thing. And this is where it takes awareness and practice. And it comes down to ultimately trusting in the universe. When you understand that the universe, the Tao, is on its own accord, right? Let's just all get humbled for a quick sec. How did you end up here? How did I end up here? Did you put yourself here? Did I put myself here? We just magically appeared. Was out of our control. Who controls when the sun sets and the sun rises? Do we control that? Do we control how our hair grows and our fingernails grow? Are we in control of that? Who's beating our heart? Who's controlling that, right? So when you start to realize that there's a greater intelligence at play here that's been around for billions of years, let's always remember that too, team. The universe, science says, has been around for 13.8 billion years, guys. It's almost hard to comprehend how long the universe has been in existence for, reality. We are here for a speck of time. And what we experience in our reality is designed for the universe to help expand and evolve consciousness. We are put here for a reason. The fact that you are here means you have purpose. And the events in your life are there to groom you, to help bring you back to what you are. Life is actually a process of unlearning and remembering the greatness within us. So the practice and the lesson today that I want to really hammer home is that when things go wrong in your life, don't look at it from that perspective. Think to myself, okay, what is the universe here trying to teach me? What is this saying to me? And another good example could be a breakup. Right? How many times, who here has been through a vicious breakup? You know, maybe you got cheated on, maybe it was a really toxic relationship that finally ended. And in that relationship ending, how catastrophic was that? Maybe you were devastated. Maybe after the relationship, you had a month where you were eating ice cream at home or whatever. But then what the crazy part is, as life went along and you realized that that person was just a stepping stone, a great teacher for you to learn more about yourself, you start to realize, well, dude, now there's more opportunity for you to focus on yourself. Maybe you're now learning from that relationship. You're in a new relationship that's even much better than your previous one. And now you're happily married with children. Maybe another example is a job. Maybe you got fired, right? Maybe you were doing a job that you loved and you got fired from your job and it just took you out of the blue. So you went to the drawing board and you said, well, you know what? I'm gonna start my own business. And you started to pursue and you became an entrepreneur and you built your own business and now you have this successful business all because you got fired. Those are the moments. I even get the goosebumps just thinking about it. So all the misfortune in your life is there to teach you and guide you. And if you can look at it as a blessing, because that's the thing, guys, everything that we get in our lives is a blessing. It truly, truly is. It's remarkable that we get to wake up and we get to go out and we can experience life, and that we have events to experience life, that we get to grow. Life is no different than building muscle in the gym. When I go to the gym and I want to build these pipes, okay, I pick up the weight and I start lifting the weight, right? When it starts to burn, it starts to hurt and get painful, if I put the weight down, my muscles aren't going to grow. I need to breathe through it and know that if I can just work through the pain and work through the reps, that I'm going to get stronger and I'm going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And the same reasons for life. Every single time an event that challenges you, you're able to take it in and show gratitude for it. Even though it's hard, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to, life, it's not easy. It's designed to be challenging. It's another lesson I have in the future we'll talk about. It's love challenge, right? But, the thing is it's designed to be challenging, and that's what makes us grow. As long as we stay open, that is my biggest hope for all of you today, and really letting this lesson sink in, is have an open mindset. Whatever is happening in your life, even if you don't understand why it's happening. And this could get deep. We could go deep because sometimes there's events in life that really will confuse you, like deaths or tragedies. And you might really question, why am I experiencing this? And it's not for you to ever figure out in the moment, because sometimes an event can be so hard to understand that there's not going to be an answer. And maybe the answer will be given to you over time. But the big thing is to trust. That is the biggest thing, is to trust in the universe that it has put you here for a reason. And once you become on the side of the universe, because remember, the universe is always working for you. It's always giving you what you need, not what you want. So that knee injury that I had was one of the great blessings of my life. When I got cheated on, and that was one of the great blessings of my life. And I can reflect on my own life, even losing one of my social media accounts. It's another great lesson, guys. I want to actually leave you with this lesson that was so profound in my life. I had a social media account that I worked years on, and I put so much blood, sweat, and tears into it. And it was, I'll never forget the day. I remember I was actually traveling, and I remember vividly opening up the account. My account was deleted, and I could not recover it. And I thought to myself, I went out on the balcony and I looked up at the sky and I said, okay, universe. I stayed calm. I remained calm. And I said, okay, I trust you. I trust in you to guide me. And although I was completely devastated, I decided to really trust in what the universe was telling me. And the universe was showing me a valuable lesson of that no matter what, no one can take away Nunzi, and no one can take away my love for content, and no one can, and giving me the tools and resources to do it again. Because in life, you're gonna have to start over lots, and it's never starting over. You're just continuing to do what you do because you love what you do. So I took a month to reset, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna start a new account, and I started a new account, and a year later, guys, I've tripled the followers, tripled the reach that I had on an account that I worked for 5 years. Wow, so guys, just really understand that everything that's happening in your life right now, no matter how difficult it may be, is happening for a distinct reason. As long as you look at it like that, Another great lesson that we'll talk about in the future is resistance versus acceptance. Acceptance is a very deep spiritual term and something that's going to make your life flow so much easier. Because the reason why people suffer so much is their resistance to what is happening. For example, if I would have gotten so devastated and folded and maybe quit social media altogether, I would have been resisting the natural way I was destined to go. And through the resistance, I would have suffered greatly. But instead of accepting what happened and trusting in what happened and knowing my own greatness, I was allowed to continue on the path. And that lesson has strengthened me and leveled me up beyond anything I could have ever imagined. So it really does come down to accepting what's happening. That's such a deep spiritual concept of just accepting reality. And we're going back to the fact that we are on a rock spinning in the middle of nowhere in this giant universe in terms of tons of galaxies, and really we are insignificant. And once you are one with the Tao, one with the universe, and trust and believe in yourself, knowing that everything is happening is laid out, that's how you're going to start living your greatest life. And that's when you're going to start seeing the synchronicities. And that's when things are going to start to become easier. And you're not going to be swimming upstream. It's not going to be difficult. And life is just going to get a lot more exciting. So guys, please look at your life. And anytime you deal with a difficult situation, instead of folding, instead of crying, instead of becoming a victim to it, look up at the sky and say, thank you. I'm going to handle this. I really appreciate this lesson. I appreciate this opportunity. I'm going to give it my best effort. I'm going to stay open. I'm going to accept it. And I'm going to grow and know that I'm going in the direction I need to. I love you guys so much. I'm your boy Nunzi. Thank you for listening. And make sure you click this guy to subscribe. We're going to have tons of new lessons coming out, guys. And if you want more Nunzi coaching lessons, give this guy a little click right there to watch your next lesson. Thank you so much, guys. I love y'all. If you're not excited, get excited.
No!